first chapter, the chapter 1 history of electricity. In this first we are going to understand the research and development of the electricity. The subject of electricity has caught the attention of many intellectuals throughout the ages. The contribution made by such individuals have led to our understanding of electricity today. That means what? Different people have contributed for the research and development in the field of electricity, in the field of your electrical engineering. Okay, so in this area we are going to talk about the research which has been done for the generation of power, for the transmission of power, for the distribution of power, as well as for the utilization of power also. So take a look at some important individuals, okay, nothing but the individual persons or the personalities I can say, and their contribution towards the understanding of electricity. So first you can see during the period of 600, okay, so the Thales, okay, the person name as Thales, so he discovered the frictional electricity. So what is meant by frictional electricity? The energy which we get because of friction, but because of rubbing some materials. Okay, so when you rub your hands we get some heat energy. So same like that. Okay, so he has developed the energy called as static. Okay, so where we are getting the energy on the surface of the material. Next you can see during the period of 1600, the William Liebert, okay, he created the word called as electrical. Okay, so he has given the word called as electrical. Again we have a person called as Sir Thomas Braun in 1646. This Thomas Braun changed the word electrical to electricity. So electrical is a field of is a name of the department, okay, and electricity means what? Okay, where we are going to study about the flow of electrons. Again in 1687, Sir Isaac Newton, okay, he created the 3 laws of motion. As everyone are aware with these 3 laws of motion, like we are having the Newton's first law, the second law, again the third law. Again in 1752, the Benjamin Franklin proved that the electrical charges are transferable through an experiment with his kite. Okay, so we have a very famous experiment with this personality, that when he was flying a kite, okay, he got some jerk, he got some electrons, okay, he got some stray current on that. So because of that he has proved that there is a flow of electrons. Okay, again 1800, okay, in the Alessandro Volta, so he discovered how to produce electricity with the help of chemicals. So we can see we are having a concept of generation of electricity, okay, by means of the nuclear plant. So where we use some chemicals like the thorium, plutonium, okay, all those things. Again in 1820, a person called as Andre Mary, okay, so Andre Mary Ampere became the first formula to measure the electrical current flow. So as we know, the unit of current is nothing but the ampere. In the symbolic form it is A or amps. The ampere, a measure of the movement of the electrical charge, is named after him only. Okay, so this is the person who has given the name for the current as well as the units as ampere. Again we can see we have the George Siemens Ohms, okay, in the 1827. So he wrote the Ohm's law. Variation of this law are now used by electricians and electrical engineers. The Ohm, a unit of resistance of electricity, is named after him only. So a very basic principle what we have in the electricity is nothing but the Ohm's law. So where we are going to define the current value with respect to the voltage, with respect to the resistance value. Again in 1831, the Dr. Michael Faraday, he is called as a father of electricity. Okay, so Dr. Michael Faraday discovered the dynamic electricity with electromagnetic induction. He is called the father of electricity. So as I have told you earlier that we are having 2 different forms of electricity. One is by means of static, one is by means of dynamic. So static means the energy which we are having on the surface of the material. Again the dynamic means what? The energy which we have developed, and we are going to classify in terms of AC, in terms of DC, in terms of alternate current, in terms of direct current. Again in 1840, Mr. Joseph Wilson Swan, okay, invented the first electrical light bulb. Okay, nothing but your incandescent lamp. Okay, this is the person who developed the incandescent bulb. Again in 1879, okay, Thomas Edison perfected the electrical light bulb. Okay, so after testing, okay, we have got the approval from this personality. He also set up the world's first power plant, Pearl Street direct current generation station. Okay, so he has developed the first power station, you can say, or you can say it as substation also. Again in 1880, the Nikola Tesla, okay, designed the alternate current supply system. So this is a person who designed the AC, HVAC line, okay, as well as the HVDC line also. So these are the few personalities who contributed in the field of electrical engineering for the research and development of electricity. So coming for the next concept of national occupational standards for the assistant electricians. So if you're working as electricians, or if you're working as a supervisor, or if you're working as a foreman, so you should be aware with respect to all these standards. Okay. So first concept, okay, the role of an electrician. To work as an electrician and perform installation, repair and maintenance of low voltage electrical connection in construction site, whether temporary or permanent, residential and commercial sector, the individual has to be aware in laying a conduit for the low voltage, single and the three-phase wiring. So as we know, in electricity we are going to classify the system in terms of single phase as well as in terms of three phase. So single phase means what? We'll be having only one phase along with the neutral. In the three phase we'll be having the three phases along with a common neutral. So the first task of any electrician, he should be aware how to lay the conduits, okay, at the low voltage side. What is meant by low voltage? If the equipment is having a voltage of 415 or the 440, okay, in that case we call it as a low voltage. Even the 230 volts or the 220 volts also comes with respect to your low voltage area only. And this technician should handle the power tools efficiently under supervision of level 4 electrician and above as per the applicability. That means what? We are having some categories over here. We are having the level 4, level 5, level 6. Okay, so about these levels we are going to discuss in the next paradigm. Okay, so inshallah about in that area we are going to discuss. So first thing, okay, so we have to understand the concept of CON. Okay, so what is meant by CON? Actually in India we are having a skill program, okay, which is nothing but stands for the Construction Skill Development Council of India. Okay, so those people have given some regulation numbers in the serial orders. So we're talking about the CON/N0602. So that means what? In this area, okay, we will be learning how to select and use the hand power tools and electrical devices relevant to the construction electrical work jobs. Detailed qualification pack for assistant electrician. Okay, so here we are having a complete package with respect to all these things. Okay, how to use your power tools, how to use your drill machines, how to use your mechanical tools and all those things. Okay, so in description, in short, I can say this unit describes the knowledge and the skill required to select and use the hand, power tools and electrical devices. So we can see we are having some different devices these days, okay, for the construction side. So we are having a mechanical device, we are having the electrical devices, okay, and we are having some electromechanical devices also. So with respect to that, we are going to understand how to utilize those tools at site at a very effective level. So coming for the scope, so select appropriate hand tools, power tools and measuring devices to carry out various necessary electrical works required for construction activities. So as per the site requirements and as per the task given to us, so we have to carry all these tools. So coming for the CON/N0603, according to this, so we are going to install temporary lighting arrangement at construction site. Okay, so if you are working from the ground level, so initially we have to take the point of supply. From the point of supply, we have to provide the temporary shade as well as we have to provide the lighting arrangement also. So description, this unit describes the knowledge and the skill required to install temporary lighting arrangement at construction site. So the first task of a technician is to provide the lighting at site. Again, the scope, select and use relevant material components for installation of temporary lighting arrangement at construction sites in the low voltage connection. So this lighting concept comes under your low voltage area because all the lights will work with respect to the single phase or with respect to your three phase only. Again, carry out maintenance and basic tests to ensure desired function of installed lighting arrangement. So we have to go with maintenance also in the future if you are getting any kind of maintenance, and after installation you have to go with some basic test also. Okay, so that is to get 24/7 supply. Talking about the CON/N0604, so in this area you can see install LV electrical wiring at permanent structures. Very important task we can see. In description I can elaborate that this unit describes the knowledge and the skill required to install the LV electrical wiring at permanent structures. Okay, once the structure has been done at site, so we have to provide the low voltage connections, okay, in terms of your distribution boards. So lay conduit in RCC and brick masonry structures and assist in LV electrical wiring work in building and other permanent structures. Okay, so we should know how to lay the conduits, okay, in your roof, in your floor, in your ground, okay, even at roadside also. Not only conduits, even we have to provide the flexible pipes also. In some cases we have to provide the sleeve also. Again, coming for the next clause, nothing but the CON/N0605, assemble, install and maintain temporary LV electrical panels, distribution boards at construction site. So once when you place your conduits or your sleeves, the next task is nothing but we have to check the position of your distribution board, because at every site we are having different distribution boards panel. Like we have a distribution board in which we are going to place the circuit breakers, we are going to place the RCD family, we are going to place the isolator also if required. So same like that, we have a sub-main distribution board also, we are having the main distribution board also. So once when you lay the content, again we are going to place the distribution boards. So this unit describes the knowledge and skills required to assemble, install and maintain temporary LV electrical panels, which is nothing but distribution board, okay, at construction site. So scope, assemble temporary LV distribution board by selecting appropriate fixtures as per circuit load requirement. So we are going to make the circuit. So as per the circuits, number of circuits, we are going to size a distribution board, and these distribution boards are sized in terms of ways, like in terms of 2-way, 4-way, 6-way, 8-way, okay. And in the future, if there is any kind of troubleshoot, so we can able to repair or replace faulty parts, fixtures as and when necessary also. Next, coming for the concept of CON/N8001. So work effectively in a team to deliver desired result at the workplace. Remember that if you want 100% okay result, so you have to work in a team. You have to coordinate with your team, with your senior, with your managers also. Description: this will describe the skills and knowledge required to work effectively within a team to achieve the desired results. Okay, so teamwork is very, very important task. If you're not coordinating or if you're not working in a team, so definitely you'll be getting some bad result. Okay, so very important topic you can say. If you coordinate, then obviously the coordination result will also be very good for you. Coming for the scope, interact and communicate effectively with co-workers, supervisors and subordinates across different teams. Okay, so after technicians we can see we have the co-worker, again we have the supervisor, again we have the subordinates, okay, with respect to different teams and different departments. Okay, as well as being technician, you have to support your co-worker also, you have to support your supervisor and subordinates within the team and across interfacing teams to ensure effective execution of assigned tasks. So whatever the task which has been assigned to you, so if you want to get 100% result for that, so you have to coordinate with all these papers. Okay, you have to follow with the footsteps what they're giving you. Next, we have the concept of CON/N8002. So plan and organize the work to meet the expected outcome. So before going to implement, okay, so before going for the execution, we have to plan properly. So this unit describes the knowledge and the skill required for an individual to plan and organize own work in order to meet the expected outcome. So we have to plan the complete thing. Okay, we have to first design, again we have to draft, again coming for the execution part. Okay, so in terms of scope, you can see prioritize work activities to achieve desired results, organize desired resources prior to commencement of the work. Okay, so everything, remember that we have to plan first, again we have to organize, again we have to implement the same. Okay, so before working in a before working for the real time, we have to make a proto model, okay, by means of some softwares, by means of some drafting programs. Again, CON/N9001. So work according to the personal health, safety and environmental protocol at construction site. So this is very, very important. So whenever you are working at site, make sure that you have to take some precise method for the safety. Okay, safety for yourself, safety for others also. Description: this unit covers the skills and knowledge required for an individual to work according to the personal health, safety and the environmental protocol at construction site. Very, very important. Okay, so if you're not working, okay, by taking some n number of necessary measures, then obviously you'll be hired from the site also. So make sure that, okay, you take some good amount of safety. Again, the scope: follow safety norms as defined by the organization. Nothing but your company or your firm people will provide you some procedures. Okay, adopt health and safe work practices. Okay, so these are the standards what generally the electrician has to follow. Again, electricians have following duties and responsibilities. So if you're working as an electrician, so definitely you have to follow these responsibilities. So we have to read the drawing. So okay, so you should be you should have the enough amount of knowledge to read the drawing. Okay, in the drawings we have the circuit drawings, we have the electrical code specifications also. Different countries will have different regulations. Okay, so as per the regulations, they will be providing the drawing. So we have to understand and we have to execute the same thing which we have in the drawing. Again, we have to pull the cable through the conduits. Okay, so these days we are having the concealed wiring. So we have to pull the wire or the cable by means of this conduits only. So join and connect wires to fixtures and components to form a circuit. Okay, so sometimes we have to make the joints, we have to make the connections also to make a circuit. Testing and commissioning of circuits has to be done using testing equipments only. We are having different test devices. Like we can see, we have a megger to measure the earth. Okay, so same like this, we are having different testers to test the insulation value. Okay, to test the polarity level, etc. So we have to use the equipments only to test. Okay, install brackets and anchors to support electrical equipment. So wherever we have any kind of mechanical load, okay, nothing but if the equipment is having some external amount of load, in that case we have to provide a bracket or we have to provide an hanger. Okay, again install, replace and repair lighting fixtures in distribution equipment such as switches, relays and circuit breakers if required. If required, okay, in the future if you are going with the maintenance point of view, so you have the provision to repair as well as to replace also all these things. So troubleshoot and isolate faults in electrical and electronic systems and remove or replace fault points if required. Okay, so once when you go with the QA, QC, so in that case if there is any kind of replacement, okay, or if there is any kind of troubleshooting, so you should have the skill to replace that also. To maintain work safety and provide electrical safety to the consumer. Okay, so you first of all provides take some enough amount of measurement, okay, when you're working at site. Along with that, when you're handling the site to the consumer or your customer, so you have to give 100% safety for them also. So plan before startup to reduce the material wastage and labor wastage also. So before working in the real time, okay, plan in a proper way, so that your time as well as your labor, okay, as well as your money should not get wastage for you. Again, complete the work in the stipulated time span. Okay, so we will be having some dead times. Okay, so with respect to that times, okay, dead times only we have to execute our task. So this is a concept what we have with respect to the electrician's roles and responsibilities. Next we can see the procedure for arranging temporary wiring at construction site. So if you are working from the ground level, okay, so initial stage only we have to provide temporary wiring, okay, to run your machine, to get your supply to your individual floors. Okay, so if any situation, if you require electrical power supply in the job site, first look at the DB at construction site. So we have to provide the provision, okay, where we have to place the distribution board. Then check if there is any empty MCB in the distribution box. Okay, so if there is any kind of provision for the distribution box, generally we have, okay, one spare or one space in the distribution board. If you are having that, okay, from that MCB you can take the supply. So if yes, connect load to the particular rated MCB. If not, take one more temporary usage MCB or loop the supply from the connector through insert cables into the extension boxes. So as per your requirements, okay, we have to take the supply from the next MCB and we have to provide the supply to our extension box, nothing but to your modular boxes, I can say. Okay, so next we can see the resources to accomplish the work. So if you want to execute the work, so we require all these resources, like arrange required tools for certain jobs. So as per the requirement, all the tools should be available with you. Again, arrange required material for certain job. Okay, so in between sometimes, okay, we'll be having some, with respect to electrical point of view, we may have some other responsibility also. Okay, in that case, okay, I repeat again, you can see resources to accomplish the work. Okay, arrange required tools for certain jobs. So as per the requirement, okay, on site we have to provide enough amount of tools. Again, arrange required materials for certain job. Okay, so whatever the materials which are required, for example, if at site we require some 100 pieces of your conduit, so 100 pieces of conduit should be available. If you require some 200 meters of cable, in that case 200 meters of cable should be available. So if the material as well as the tool is available, then only you can able to work. Okay, so arrange ladders, electrical supply also. Okay, so we are having some wooden ladders, we are having some aluminum ladders, so we should these things also. Okay, again, methods to reduce the wastage. So first, properly plan the work and take exact measurement required. Okay, so if you're having a drawing and if that drawing is done in the scaling format, so you can measure from the drawing also. If not, manually you have to measure from the side. Okay, so whatever the measurements we are getting, based upon that we are going to place the fixtures. So find out the least material required path. Okay, so whenever you are making the circuits, okay, try to find out the least amount of circuit path. Okay, don't go in a very complex way. Okay, go in a very simplified way, so that in the future, okay, the maintenance will also be very easy. Again, follow the safety and the standard procedures. Okay, so whenever you're working with respect to any site, okay, so work according to the standards. Standards will increase the cost of project, but in the real time, in the long run scenario, it will give you the very good result for you. Okay, so next, coming for the next concept, nothing but the NSQF level. So what is mean by NSQF level? So that means what? National Skill Qualification Framework. Okay, so especially in India, okay, we are having this pie chart. So with respect to this pie chart, we can able to understand that how much amount of knowledge we will be having and how much amount of skill we require. Okay, so here basically we are having the two abbreviations. One is with respect to knowledge, one is with respect to skill. So if you are a fresher, okay, you have to come with respect to this point of view. Okay, if you are a fresher, so what is mean by skill? First of all, understand what is mean by skill. Skill means nothing but the ability to do something. Okay, the ability to do something is called as skill. And what is mean by knowledge? Knowledge means understanding of subject in terms of theoretical or in terms of practical content. Okay, so we are going to check the ratio between these two things. So we are having almost like some 10 levels over here. So with respect to all these 10 levels, what is the designations we are with as per the responsibility we can check. So talking about the level 1 and level 2 and level 3, so this comes with respect to your labor segment, nothing but at the technician level. So if you're talking about level 1, okay, so here we have a helper, okay, so this helper will have a ratio of 10:30. That means what? He will be having a knowledge of 10% with respect to a ratio of 30, okay, skill of 30 over here. And this helper category marginally skilled, so it will be having only marginal amount of skill only. Next, in the level 2 we have a semi-skilled labor, okay, so which is having a ratio of 35% of behavior, social skills and education, means he will be slight literate with respect to the project. So which is having a ratio of 15 with respect to the knowledge, and with respect to skill he will be having a 50 over here. Okay, so semi-skilled worker, 18 months experience of level 1. So if he is working with respect to the helper for the 18 months, in that case he will be called as a semi-skilled labor. Next we have a level 3 where we have a skilled labor. Okay, so this labor will have a knowledge of 20% and a skill of 80%. Okay, so he is totally 100% soundproof, I can say, with respect to the work. So in this we can see is the skilled worker, 2 years of minimum experience of level 2. So he will be having the experience of minimum 2 years over here. Okay, so this is the category what we have with respect to your labor segment. Next we have the 3 more categories with respect to your level 4, level 5, again the level 6. So in the level 4 you can see we have the charge hand, which is having a ratio of 30:70. That means 30 is with respect to knowledge side and skill is with respect to 70 side. Okay, so site experience in short training of 90 to 180 days from any reputed organization. Okay, so charge hand or high skilled worker, 1 year minimum experience of level 3. So he should have a skill of experience of the level 3 of minimum of 1 year, and along with this he should be having a certification of almost like some 180 days, almost like for the 6 months I can say. Again talking about the foreman, so he comes with respect to the level 5. Okay, so in this we can see he should have a qualification from ITI. So what is meant by ITI? Industrial Training Institute. Okay, so in every city, in every country we are having this department. Okay, we are having this board or university I can say. So these people will provide you some skill. Okay, so ITI equivalent foreman, minimum 3 years of site experience in case of ITI pass, and if through ranks then at least 1 year experience of the level 4 also. Okay, so along with your qualification of ITI, so he should have an experience of 1 year of level 4 also. Next talking about the supervisor, which is at level 6. So here comes the knowledge of 50, again the skill of 50. So ITI and supervisor courses, supervisor general or trade specific. So okay, so we are having some trademarks also, we'll be having some license also. So you should be having the license from certain department, along with that you should have the qualification from ITI department also, and he should have the experience of 2 years minimum of level 5. So all these 3 comes with respect to your supervisor segment. Again we can see we are having the 4 more segments, okay, with respect to your manager level. Okay, so talking about the level 7 where we have the junior engineer, which is who is having a knowledge of 60 and who is having a skill of 40 over here. Okay, so as you are increasing the level, so what is happening? The knowledge is getting increased and the skill is getting decreased over here. Okay, so that means what? The technicians or the labor people or the foreman people are having the good amount of skill when compared to knowledge. Okay, so for the level 7 where we have the junior engineer, where we have a knowledge of 60, again a skill of 40. So in this he should hold a degree, okay, of diploma, construction manager or site engineer. He can be from any background, it can be from the civil, it can be from the electrical or mechanical. Minimum 4 years of experience of level 5 and the level 6. If through ranks and direct diploma holder, then at least 2 years of experience of level 6 at least. Okay, if he's having a degree, then at least minimum 2 years of experience he should have with respect to your supervisor level. Next, with respect to, you can see the level 8, okay, where we have the engineers and the managers. So these people will have a knowledge of 70% with a skill of 30% only. So these people will be technically graduate construction manager equivalent, minimum 3 years of experience as level 7 over here. Okay, so after working with level 7 for the 3 years, they will be getting this designation. Okay, and they will be having a degree, 2 years of experience of level 7 for technical graduates also. Okay, that means these people will be holding a diploma degree also, and along with this they will be having the 3 years of experience also. Again we have 2 more levels, okay, the level 9 as well as the level 10. So where we have the post graduations, okay, where we have the ratio of your 80 to 20. So 80 is a knowledge area, 20 is a skill area. So where we have the junior general managers, okay, or the assistant general managers I can say, or project managers I can say. So these people will take care of the complete project. Okay, and these people can also be called as project engineer also. Again, we can see for the level 10 we have the PhDs, okay, where we have doctorates. These people will have a knowledge of 90, again with a skill of 10. Okay, so here we can see we have the managing directors, okay, or a team of engineers, okay, or your general managers and above. Okay, so this is a complete NSQF levels what we have, okay, from the fresher till your doctorate, I can say. So this was the thing what we have with respect to the first chapter. Okay, so I hope everyone have enjoyed the session. Okay, so thank you.